Today we are going to study Unit 9, bowling. So in between we had left one lesson, that is hack driver. Already we had taken 8 and then we are coming to the 9. Okay, that is bowling. So bowling is the name of a girl who has been neglected from her very early childhood itself. So now through the lesson we will come to know why is she being neglected even by her family also. And in the olden times, in those days, girls were not allowed to go to school, isn't it? Though they wanted to, their desire is to study also, they are being suppressed by their family members because they gave education only for boys, isn't it? So girls, they think that after some time they have to get married and go to another house, isn't it? So the same situation is coming in the life of Boli also. But totally her teacher who had given her that courage and take a firm decision or that determination in her mind how to change in the society. So coming to the last of the lesson, we will come to know how much Boli the girl had changed. Understood? Okay, now we will go through the lesson. Her name was Sulekha. So actually, what is her name? Sulekha. Her name is Sulekha. But since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Boli, the simpleton. So every people in that village used to call her in what name? Boli. Actually, her name is Sulekha, but for easiness, everybody used to call her Boli. Understood? Everybody had given her a nickname named Boli. She was the fourth daughter of Namrata Ramlal. So, who is her father? Father Namrata Ramlal. So, she is the fourth daughter of Ramlal. Understood? When she was 10 months old, only when she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the pot on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of her brain. So when only she was 10 months old, she had fallen from the cot or cradle where the small babies are being put. She had fallen down and that had hurt her brain. Understood? That hurt was there in her head and that had injured her brain. That is why she remained a backward child. So she was not a clever child and came to be known as Boli the simpleton. So everyone started calling her the nickname Boli because she was not up to the age of her own, isn't it? Because little problem that had created in her brain. At birth, the child was very fair and pretty. So when she was born, she was very fair and pretty. But when she was 2 years old, so this injury had happened when she was only 10 months old. But when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. So when she was 2 years old, only 2 years old, she was attacked by smallpox. What do you mean by smallpox? Pox appearing on the body, and smallpox is similar to chicken pox, but it is little serious. That means that it leaves marks on the body. It leaves like a pox marks on the body, and it will not be going. It will be lasting throughout their life. That pox marks. Understood? So that is why smallpox is more injurious than which one? Chickenpox. Nowadays it is common, but in olden times smallpox is like now corona is attacking every people. A long time before also this smallpox was so dangerous, attacking every people. And the one thing is that it leaves the pox marks on the body. That means from face to heels. Understood? And it will be lasting throughout their life. Only the eyes was saved. So the whole body was attacked by smallpox and only pox was not there in her eyes. but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep dark pock marks. So in whole throughout the body, what is there? Pock marks. Pock marks. Pock marks. Now understood. Little Sulega could not speak till she was 5. Not only that, that means 2 years she was attacked by smallpox, and the whole body was having that pock marks. And again, see the misfortune of the child. Again, when she was 5 years old, only she started speaking. Only when she came at the age of 5, she started speaking. The other children, and when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. So, stammering means not saying in a proper manner. Stammering means weak. So, it was not in a proper way also. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. So, other children made fun of her and they used to do mimicry on her voice because it was not a soft running voice. The other children, as a result, she talked very little. So, because the others are making fun of her, poor Sulega was not talking too much. She was quiet all the time. So, these are the misfortunes that had happened to Boli Sulega at a very early age. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. So, he had 3 sons and 4 daughters. And Sulega is the 4th one, isn't it? 4th daughter. Sulega is Ramlal's 4th daughter. And the youngest of them was Boli. 3 sons and it was a prosperous farmer's household. There was plenty to eat and drink. That means it was a wealthy family, a rich family. And so they did not starve. They did not starve for food. They were having sufficient food and drink. All the children except Boli were healthy and strong. So all these children, other than Boli, they are all very healthy and strong because there is sufficient food for each and every child. Their sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. So, sons were given education in the school education. Then after that they started going in the college. Of the daughters, Radha the eldest had already been married. The eldest, how many daughters? 4 daughters. The first one Radha, she got married. Second daughter Mangala's marriage had also been settled. Second daughter also, Mangala also got married. And when that was done, Ramlal would think of the third Chamba. So now Chamba, third daughter, and the 4th daughter, Boli, is remaining, isn't it? They were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find brides for them. So out of these 4 daughters, 3 are there. 3 other than Boli, 3 are there, and 2 got married. 2 got married, isn't it? And the third one is going to get married. She also is ready to get married because all these 3 daughters are pretty and beautiful. That means they have no defects. But as far as Boli is concerned or Sulega is concerned, stammering is there in her speech, and not only that, the whole body has the markings of the smallpox. Pock marks are there, and she was not fair and pretty. This all happened to Boli, but others all are healthy and they are beautiful. But Ramlal was worried about Boli, so he was always worried. These 3 daughters can easily get married, but coming to the 4th daughter Boli, he was always worried, thinking that who will come to marry her. She had neither good looks or intelligence. She is not at all good having, because she got a hurt in her head and that had made some injury in her brain also, and also she is not beautiful also. Why? Because the pock marks are there in her body. Boli was 7 years old when Mangala was married. Mangala is which one? The second daughter. The same year a primary school for girls were opened in the village. So when the second daughter's marriage um, was married, that is Mangala, her sister was married, that time a new school opened in their village. The Tahsildar Sahib, the Panchayat, came to perform its opening ceremony. So he came there for the inauguration of that school. He said to Ramlal, as a revenue officer, you are the representative of the government. So what is the work of Ramlal? Revenue officer. You are the representative of the government in the village, and so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughter to school. That means, said you are the main person, you are the revenue official of this village. That means you are very near to the government, and so you have to take steps in order to bring the students in the school. And first, what he had to do? First, he had to send his daughters to school. So that seeing Ramlal's daughters coming to the school, others also will send their children to school. This is what the Tahsildar Sahib had said. That night when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If girls go to school, who will marry them?" So in the night, he came and told the same what the Tahsildar had said to his wife. And at once she was shocked and she said, "How can you say that girls has to go to school? That means if they get education, who will come to marry them?" But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tahsildar. But as far as Tahsildar had said, he has to obey what the Tahsildar had said also. That means he had asked him to send his own daughters first. At last his wife said, "I will tell you what to do. Send Bodhi to school. As it is, there is a chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers at school worry about her." So what did the wife say? She said, "Okay, no need of sending the daughter, but send Bodhi to the school." Why? Because second daughter's marriage was also over and now waiting for the third daughter. And they are worried about whose marriage? Bodhi's marriage, isn't it? So the wife is saying, "Okay, we can send whom to school? Bodhi to school, so that there is no need of worrying about her marriage. She will be in the school, and at the same time she is not very clever and also not beautiful, isn't it? So that she will create problem only in the school and let the teachers worry about it." Understood? Understood that now? That means they are not willing to send their other daughters, but they are willing to send whom only? Bodhi. Why? Because they are sure that no boys will come over there to get her married. Understood? That means she will remain at the home only. The next day, Ramlal caught Bodhi by the hand and said, so now what they wanted to do? They wanted, as far as the Tahsildar had said, they will send their daughter to school. Whom did they send? They will send whom? Bodhi. So the next day, they got ready to send Bodhi to school. The next day, Ramlal got Bodhi by the hand and said, "Come with me, I will take you to school." Bodhi was frightened. So at first a girl was frightened. She did not know what a school, because up to then she did not know what a school is. She had never gone outside her house. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house and sold. So the only thing she thought that it is some place where they are going to save her, because she knows that from their house the old cow Lakshmi has been sold out, sent out of the house and sold to a person. So she thought going out of the house means she is going to be sold to somebody. Understood? Because she don't know what is a school. She had never seen school. No, she started shouting in terror and fear, and pulled her hand away from the father's hip, and she decided to run away from her father. "What is the matter with you, you fool?" shouted Ramlal. "I am only taking you to school." Then he told his wife, "Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her. So all these times they were not given her good dresses. They used to give only her sister's dresses, old dresses which they had used. And now Ramlal is saying that I want to take her to the school so that in order to make others impressive, just to make her wear some new clothes. So he is not worried that Boli should wear, but to make others feel that they are rich enough to make her wear also good dress. New clothes had never been made for Polly. So up to then no new clothes were given to her. The old dresses of her sisters were passed on to her. So that from the elder one it is passed to the last one. So for all these three daughters, what they had worn for first, and when they did not need that dress, it was given to whom? Boli. No one cared to mend or wash her clothes. Nobody cared whether it is washed or mended properly. But today she was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk from many washings and no longer fitted Chamba. So today they decided to give her some new dress other than what she was wearing all the time, isn't it? So now this also is not a new one. It has been used by whom? Her third sister Chamba many times, and now it was given to her. Understood? Still they did not buy a new one for her. She was even bathed again today. Bathing was done and oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair. So up to then no oil, no bathing, nothing was there. But for going to school, she was bathed and her hairs were oiled. Only then she began to believe that she was taken to a place better than her home. So only after wearing the new dress and combing her hair with oil and everything, she understood that some new place she is going from her home. When they reached the school, so finally she gone with her father to the school, and now they have reached the school. The children were already in their classrooms, all had got inside the classroom. Ramlal handed over his daughter to the headmistress. They went straight to the headmistress and Ramlal given Boli to her. Left alone, the poor girl looked about her with a fear-laden eyes. So now nobody is there, all new faces all around, isn't it? Her father had gone also. Nobody is there, all of the new faces are there in front of her. So she got fear. There were several rooms, and in each room girls like her squatted on mats reading books or writing on slates. So children, they are there, many classrooms are there, and in every room she could see some children sitting, reading, writing and doing things. The headmistress asked Boli to sit down in a corner in one of the classroom. So she also was made to sit in a classroom. Sorry. Boli did not know what exactly a school was like and what happened there. But she was glad to find so many girls, almost of her own age, present there. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friends. So after that, no, she had no friends because girls of the village did not come to her because she was always quiet and she was far away from them. Because of that, what all defects she was having, isn't it? Because of the children, when she speaks, it stammered. So they made fun of her, isn't it? So because of that, she did not have any friends. So now she thought at least one of them can be her friend. The lady teacher who was in the class was saying something to the girls, but Boli could understand nothing. She did not know what the teacher was saying. She looked at the pictures on the wall. The colors fascinated her. The colors on the pictures attracted her. The halls were brown, just like the halls on which Siddhartha had come to visit her village. The goat was black like the goat of her neighbor. The parrot was green like the parrot she had seen in the mango orchard. And the cow was just like their Lakshmi. And suddenly Boli noticed that the teacher was standing by her side smiling at her. So looking at the pictures, and she was comparing them to which all she had already seen. Like the cow of her own house Lakshmi, or like the horse in which the Tahsildar had come, and the goat the same color of the neighbor, and the parrot what she had seen also green in color. What is that? So while looking and admiring all that the pictures, who came near to her? Teacher came near to her. What is your name, little one? Bobo. So because the stammering is there, she was not able to say in a full strength. She could stammer no further than that. Then she began to cry and tears flow from her eyes in a helpless way. So she was trying to say, but the stammering made her nervous and she started crying. She kept her head down as she sat in her corner, not daring to look up the girls who were still laughing at her. So the other students, what did they do? They started laughing at her when she started saying her name because the stammering was there. When the school bell rang, all the girls hurried out of the classroom. All came running out of their classroom. But Boli dared not leave her corner. Her head still lower, she kept on sobbing. But who did not come out? Boli did not come out. She was still crying. Boli, the teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. Comfortable, soothing, comforting. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. So it was the first time in her life she was hearing that sound in a very soft voice. Get up, said the teacher. It was not a command but just a friendly suggestion. Boli got up. Now tell me your name. Sweat broke out over her whole. She started sweating. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? For the sake of this kind woman, however, she decided to make an effort to say her name properly. She had such a soothing voice, she would not laugh at her. So she understood the teacher will not laugh at her, making her say. So she decided to say her name. She began to stammer. Well done, well done. The teacher encouraged her. Come on, now the full name. At last she was able to say it and felt relieved as if it was a great achievement, something great achievement she had achieved. Well done, the teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. So what is the advice given by the teacher? You throw your fear which is in you so that you will be able to speak. Because of the fear only that she was not able to speak. So teacher had advised her to throw out that fear. Boli looked up as if to say, really. Really means that because of fear she was not able to say. Yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Boli nodded. Nodded means moved ahead, saying yes. No, say it aloud. Yes, and Boli herself astonished that she had been able to say it. Didn't I tell you? Now take this book. The book was full of nice pictures and the pictures were in color. Dog, cat, god, horse, parrot, tiger and a cow, just like Lakshmi. And with every picture was a bird in big black letters. In 1 month you will be able to read this book. Then I will give you a bigger book. Then a still bigger one. In time you will be more learned than anyone else in the village. Then no one will be able to speak, no one will ever be able to laugh at you. People will listen to you with respect and you will be able to speak without the slightest stammer. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow morning. So what did the teacher say? Teacher said, teacher, I will give you books to read and you take home and start reading the books so that what will go out of you? The stammering will go out of you and you will have that courage to say anything in front of anybody so that who will not laugh at you? Others will not laugh at you. Boli felt as if suddenly all the bells in the village temple were ringing and the trees in front of the schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing with a new hope and a new life. So now she thought that she will be able to speak clearly without stammering. Thus the years passed. So years have gone. She has been going to school. Daily she is going to school and who is helping her? Her teacher is helping her. The village became a small town. The little primary school became a high school. There were now a cinema under a tin shed and a cotton dining mill. the mail train began to stop at the railway. So these are the changes that had happened in the village after a long year, because year was going on. One night after dinner, Ramla said to his wife, "Then shall I accept Bishama's proposal?" So now proposal had come for the marriage with the whom Boli, with whom Bishamba. Yes, certainly, his wife said. Boli will be lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom. A big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousands in the back. Moreover, he is not asking for any dowry. So why did they decide to get Boli married with Bishamba? Because he is having a good property and a big house wealth with him. And not only that, a shop also of his own. That is right, but he is not so young, almost the same age as I am. And he also lives. Moreover, the children from the first wife was quite grown up. So he is not a bachelor. He has once got married, and children from his first wife, and children of that first wife, they are grown up. They can be of the age of whom? Boli. That means he is of the age of Ramla, Boli's father. So such old man going to get married is a small girl. So what does it matter? The wife said, so what's the problem there? He is having wealth. She is looking only the money. 50, 45 or 50. So the age is 45 or 50. It is not great age for a man. We are lucky that he is from another village, does not know about the pockmarks and a lack of sense. If we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all the time. So the wife, what did she say? We have to accept this proposal. Otherwise, who will remain unmarried? Boli will remain unmarried, and nobody will come to marry her. So there is no need of looking at his age. Yes, but I wonder what Boli will say. So the father is saying, we should ask Boli also what is her opinion. What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow. She is useless. She doesn't know anything. Maybe you are right, muttered Ramla. In the other corner of the courtyard, Boli lay awake on her coat, listening to her parents' whispered conversation. So she had heard everything what her father and mother was talking about. Bishamir Nath was a well-to-do grocer, a businessman. He came with a big party of friends and relations with him for their wedding. So now wedding has been arranged, and he had come with many of his friends. A brass band playing a popular tune for an Indian film headed the procession. Band, everything is there. With the bridegroom riding a decorated bridegroom sitting on a decorated horse. Ramla was overjoyed to see such pomp and splendor. He had never dreamt that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Because they thought that she will not get married, she will remain there. But now with a grand procession, who is coming? The bridegroom is coming. Boli's elder sisters who had come for the occasion were envious of her luck, so they also felt jealous. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, "Bring the bride." Boli, clad in a red silken bridal dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. She was brought to the place. Garland the bride, one of the friends prompted Bishamir Nath. Bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigold. A woman slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. Bishamir took a glance. The garland remained poisoned in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. So suddenly a woman next to the Bishamir, what did she do? The bride is being covered with the veil. The cloth is put on her face. You have seen the North Indian marriages, they will cover their face. So now the lady slowly opened her veil, which her face has been covered, and she saw the pock marks on, and he saw the pock marks on the face of that girl. Up to then, Bishamir did not know who is the girl, isn't it? And nobody had seen her. Only the marriage proposal has been made. So first time he saw the pock marks on the face, and then he did not put the garland. He took the hand back. Have you seen her? Said Bishamir to the friend next to him. She had pock marks on her face. He asked his friend whether you had seen the face of that girl. She is having the pock marks. So what? You are not 10 either. So he said, you are not very young. What's the problem? Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. So, if I wanted to marry the girl, father has to give me. First, no dowry was given to her, isn't it? Now he is asking how much? 5,000. I wanted to marry her, her father has to give me how much? 5,000. So before that no dowry was asked and no dowry was given because he is a rich person, isn't it? So Ramlal did not agree with any kind of dowry. So seeing the face of the girl, what did he demand? He demanded for 5,000. 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went and placed the turban. His honor, as Bismillah said, do not humiliate me, so take 2,000 rupees. So Ramlal do not have that much money in his hand. So he said, okay, I'll give you 2,000. No, 5,000 or we go back, keep your daughter. So he was very stern in that. He said, give me how much? 5,000. Otherwise, let your daughter, you take away your daughter. We are going. Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village. That means it is a great insult for Ramlal. He had asked all the people to come over for the marriage. And at that marriage moment, what is happening? The bride is asking him to give 5,000 rupees to take the girl, to get her married. Isn't it? Because of the pock marks. And Ramlal was not able to give that much money. He said, have consideration with me, take 2,000. But Bashmi, what did he say? I need how much only? 5,000. Otherwise, let your daughter remain here. Then out with 5,000. Tears streaming down his face. Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. And finally, he went home and brought the 5,000 and placed the foot of the bridegroom. Oh, Bashmi, greedy face appeared at triumphant. So he was now in a victory that he had achieved something, 5,000 rupees also, isn't it? He had drowned and won. Give me the garland, he announced. Once again the veil was slipped back from the bride's robe, but this time her eyes were now not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband, and in her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. So this time nobody came to remove the veil, and he was going to put the garland, and that time Boli herself removed the veil from her face, and she stood in front of him, and there was no kind of hate or no kind of anger, but that contempt was there. Vishnu raised a garland to place it on the bride's neck, and he decided to put the garland on Boli's neck. But before she could do it, Boli's hand struck out like a streak of lightning, and the garland was swung into the fire. But before he could put the garland, it has been thrown by Boli, and it was on the fire. She got up and threw away the veil. She had taken that veil and threw it out. Pidaji called Father Ramlal. Yes, Pidaji, said Boli in a clear, loud voice, and a father, mother, sister, brother, relation, neighbor were starting to hear her speak without even the slightest tremor. So, calling Pidaji in a proper manner, in a proper way. So, everyone standing over there were surprised to hear that without stammering what Boli is doing. She is uttering the words. Pidaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man. So she was very stern, and she said, Pidaji, you take this money, what you had brought to give him. You take that money back. I don't want him married. Ramlal was thunderstruck. He was shocked. The guest began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly and so shameless. So they started insulting. Boli was very, Boli, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family. Have some regard for our Izzat. For the sake of your Izzat, said Boli, I was willing to marry this lame old man. But I will not have such a mean, greedy and contemptible coward as my husband. That means I was willing to get him married. But I don't want such a selfish person. What a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Dumb cow means can never open the mouth. Boli turned violently at the old woman. Yes, Auntie, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb-driven cow. That means like a cow which cannot open the mouth doing all kind of work. But now that is why you wanted to hand me over this heartless feature. That is it, because I was not opening my mouth, I was not speaking to you all. You all decided me to get married to a person of the age of my father. But now the dumb cow like stammering fool is speaking. But that cow is now speaking. Do you want to hear more? Vishamvirnath, the grocer, started to go back to his party. The confused bandsmen thought this was the end of the ceremony and struck up the closing song. They had stopped their band. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died away. The fire which is being lit over in front, that died away. Died means put off. Everyone was gone now, everybody had gone. Ramlal turned the Boli and said, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" So now Ramlal asked, "Now your chance is over. Nobody again will come forward to get you married. And now what will be your life?" And Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pidaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learned so much." Isn't that right, ma'am? So, ma'am means her madam, her teacher was standing over there. And what did she say? "I don't want to get married. How I will live? I will look after you and my mother and serve as a teacher in this school." Understood? The teacher had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. "Yes, Boli, of course," she replied. And in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of his masterpiece. So the teacher felt proud of her student who had thus totally changed, isn't it? Like an artist who feels that feeling of that great artist who had completed a masterpiece work. Understood? So this is the story of Boli. So understood now? Who had changed? Yes, the parents, the family had totally neglected her, isn't it? Because how can a parent neglect such a child who was born into them, isn't it? But still they were worried about their son and 3 daughters who are good and intelligent at the same time, because unfortunately she was attacked by smallpox and all the pockmarks had come on her face. Her beauty had gone, and they were worried that who will come forward to get her married. And at the same time, her mother was saying that let her be in the school because nobody will come to get her married. So let her life go in the school only, isn't it? And they all considered her as a dumb cow, which is of no use, always very silent. No use, dumb cow, isn't it? You cannot open the mouth and say anything, only doing the work. And finally, when she was sent to the school, who got sympathy over her? Her teacher, isn't it? The sympathy and the kindness of the teacher made the child change totally. That means her stammering had been taken away first, isn't it? And given her that courage to speak out in front of everybody. How did the teacher try to make her speak out? Yes, teacher gave her books and asked her to read. So, small books, big books like that, many kinds of books were given to her and she started reading them, isn't it? And she started speaking, maybe speaking in front of the teacher also. That is why the stammering had been gone and she was able to speak. But up to the marriage time, she was not, nobody came to know that she had stopped stammering, isn't it? And even the marriage proposal also was arranged to a aged man who is equal to her father, and he is a second married person, isn't it? He is first already married and having grown up children, and now coming to get married with this small girl. And there also she did not open her mouth. She agreed to marry him. But that man was selfish. Why? Because when seeing the pock marks on her face, he demanded to give her money, 5,000. So Ramla was not able to give. But at the last moment he agreed to give the money. But who stopped it? Boli stopped it and said, I don't want to get married with such a person. I can remain unmarried and I will be serving for the students. I will be looking after the students in the school. I will be serving you, my Pidaji and mother. Isn't it? I will be taking care of you and working in the school. And that was being agreed by whom also? Her teacher. Understood? So we come to the end of the supplementary text also. Now the book Save the Earth, I think it is not there in your syllabus. Now the book that Save the Earth, that is being deleted from your syllabus. So this up to Boli is the lesson for you to study. And I think now we had finished our English literature as well as your supplementary. Now the only thing you have to do is go through all the lessons one by one and try to understand it, and if any doubts comes in between you can inform me or ask me, okay, and these notes also will be sent to you. Thank you.